Hello everyone, this is Brownstone, and welcome back to the Art Cruiser channel. And, well, bet you guys didn't expect this video. It has been quite a bit since Wish came out, you know. It has been a while since it came out, and I bet you guys didn't expect a review of it this late. And it's not really going to be an in-depth review like my previous ones. I'm basically just going to be expressing some of my spoiler-free thoughts because you know what, I actually want you guys to see this movie. So I'm not going to be spoiling it. I'm just going to be explaining, the general, like what many of you probably already know. But the details and stuff. I'm gonna try and explain them, but I'm also going to try and keep some of it vague for some of you who actually are still interested in it. So I wasn't expecting to like this movie. I know you. I know I've been on a hiatus from the channel for a while, that sort of thing. I recently expressed my interest in coming back and all that stuff, and really playing up the defending Disney aspect. And because I wanted to return to the channel and go back to defending Disney content, I already had plans to see Wish, but because of the school year and stuff, it never ended up happening. So really, I was when I finally got the chance to, that being today, I thought I'd like it a little bit. I tend to like Disney movies still, even though I know they've been in a creative rut, and even I want them to do better, but I still knew I was gonna probably like it on a fundamental level because I love animated movies, I love musicals, especially Disney musicals, so I decided I was gonna check it out, and while I was watching, I thought, okay, I'm just gonna like this a little bit and stuff. Like, okay, maybe I'm gonna keep in mind what people are saying. I'm not gonna let my love, let my former love for Disney, a Disney like adoration and stuff blind me. Like, I still love Disney, but it's like it's been kind of hard to be a fan in recent months, considering their what's the word? Disney has been making a lot of mistakes lately, that sort of thing, and even I admit that. But when I was watching the film, I try to keep in mind what people are saying. I've seen some reactions. I've seen a general discourse, that sort of thing. Oh, King Magnifico's like not really a good villain, that sort of thing, or Disney's quirky heroes don't work anymore, all that. So I try keeping that in mind, but by the climax, it was at the point where I decided, okay, I'm just gonna come out and say it. I love this movie. Like, well, what can I say? I was actually impressed by this, and I think this movie definitely deserves a lot more love. It like I know it's gonna be a hot topic, and people are not gonna like me saying this, but I actually think this is a quality 100th year anniversary film. It's packed with that Disney charm, that Disney magic that many of their older classics had. Like uh, the singing animals, and the magical creature, that sort of thing in Star, and it's got a plucky protagonist and a Disney villain. King Magnifico is actually one of the most interesting, like one of the most interesting Disney villains for me. Mainly because he's not a pure evil villain, but he's also not that sympathetic. Like, at first you think he is, but I've seen many people fall into this trap. But but the film actually isn't fighting with itself. It isn't fighting with who it wants Magnifico to be. It at first establishes that he might be sympathetic due to, like, kingdom propaganda, that sort of thing, and later on it's revealed why. Well, it's just revealed later how selfish he actually is, and this is something that I mainly caught on to while watching the film. The first half of the film, which many people cite as being in conflict with the second half, isn't actually fighting with itself, and I think you guys will will pretty much see that as well when you watch it. I'm not going to spoil what exactly is the thing that immediately makes it obvious what his true intentions are. But I did believe his a villainous turn, and I think those that say that it comes out of nowhere either miss this bit or or flies right or flew right over their heads. It's Asha. Asha isn't a quirky archetype. She's normal. Like I know there's a problem with the Disney wanting to make every uh, Disney princess quirky, but her quirkiness actually comes off as realistic. Like she's prepping for an interview. Oh my goodness. That's pretty much the only bit of quirkiness we get from her at the beginning of the film. Like what? How do you guys miss that? I know public opinion has soured on Disney, and in some instances it's just justified. But please pay more attention to the film. Thank you. But and, and the songs too, and the songs too. I actually like quite a few of them. Not all of them are instant classics. I mean, I do think that some of the songs were. I do think some of the songs were, I don't know, a bit samey. I mean, they don't pop as much as like Encanto did, in which they all have their own unique rhythm and stuff, and it has like a distinct each one has a distinct energy to it. Do think there's a lot more similar style of these kinds of songs, but several of them are actually bangers. I my favorites have to be This Wish, the one that the one that Asha sings as her I Want song, and Knowing What I Know Now, which is oh my goodness, that's a battle that's a battle anthem, to be sure. That's a battle anthem, and it is epic in points in points too. Not gonna spoil what because I want you guys to actually see it, but some of the songs I think are actual bangers, and it's sad that at least one of them hasn't taken off. Now I know it's hard for them for a song to reach success of Frozen, but Encanto did it. I don't know why one of these songs didn't take off as an instant classic. The songs are actually great. The animation style is fine, I guess. I don't know. I've never seen this watercolor style on screen before, so it's like this is my first time being exposed to it, and I think it's cool. I think it's cool on a base level. It gives off this storybook like feel, and there's a lot of there's a lot of cool textures, that sort of thing. But this is a style I've never seen before. You know, melding 2D and 3D, that sort of thing, and I do think I do think it provides some great visuals at some points. There are some shots that visually pop out of pop at you, and I think you guys get the idea. Like judging by the trailers, that sort of thing. It has a unique visual style that may not be for everyone. I can get that, but I don't know. It definitely still needs to grow on me. But I kind of like this mesh of two styles here, in which a part of it feels hand drawn and a part of it feels like a CG animated, and I actually like the story. If this is meant to be the origin of the Wishing Star, then I think they actually did a pretty good job. Like I can definitely see this as being like chapter 0 of the Disney animated classics canon. Like the Wishing Star pops up in a lot of Disney films and like and many Disney princesses wish on it, that sort of thing. I can really see this as like if these films are all meant to take place in the same universe according to what Wish seems to set up, then I can definitely see this as a great origin story, and it's implied at the end that you know what? I'm actually not gonna spoil that, but what happens to Asha at the end kind of ties into Cinderella in a way, okay? And there's a mention of Bambi during the uh, I think I think that's common knowledge. I think there's there's mention of Bambi. A rabbit calls it your Bambi. I've never seen Bambi, so I'm just going to assume that there's a rabbit friend or something, and I've heard that Asha's friends are also based off of the Seven Dwarfs, which is pretty cool actually, and I see where the inspiration comes from. Heck, even one of the characters says this is why I'm grumpy, that sort of thing. And yeah, generally this film is chock full of Disney references, but still stands out on as its own thing. Sure, you have the references like the green magic, the evil villain, that sort of thing. The villainous turn, that sort of thing, and the villain that goes absolutely mad at the end. The heroine saves the day, but this film generally seems to stand on its own 2 feet, to be as its own story. Like, yes, it's packed full of Disney references and stuff, but I feel like that's the only thing people seem to focus on. It's like, this is just chock full of references and the story doesn't stand on its own. No, it does. It does, if you get what I mean. It has it has its own charm to it. Asha comes off as likable, and you really root for her in her desire to return all the wishes, and because she's right. I've seen many people say that Asha's wrong. Asha's wrong. King Magnifico was right. Right? No, he wasn't. Like, maybe when you first started the kingdom, he had good intentions, but at this point, no, he's just being selfish with them. And like, while on FimFiction, I think I saw this post where someone was saying Disney has become a moral hazard for children. King Magnifico was right. No, he wasn't. And I tried keeping that in mind, like while watching the film. It's like, okay, does his villainous turn fall apart later on? Does it? Because I've seen a lot of critiques beforehand, so I was pretty much spoiled on the film. So I tried thinking like, okay, I'm gonna try and be fair. I'm gonna keep these critiques in mind, but I honestly don't see where people are coming from. Like, maybe I'm the one that's missing something, but I definitely don't get the hate behind it, and I do think that this film deserved a lot better. There was definitely a lot of focus on making it feel like a timeless classic, which I have to appreciate because everyone loves a feel good Disney princess story. It's why the Disney Renaissance was so popular, and this feels like something that could come out of that era. And like I said, the film does stand on its own, but it also pays a loving tribute to the films that came before. Besides the references, you have the iconography, you have like the dance numbers, like the villain song, and you have all these elements that make it feel like a timeless Disney story. Now, whether or not that's something you want at the moment, whether or not you want anything Disney, that's up to you. But I definitely admire the attempt to really go back to the roots and push out something that feels like something that would have come out during that time. Because I feel like in the midst of all this modernization and the need to push towards modern stuff, I think audiences is really liked and preferred the old Disney princess stories. So it was a smart choice to have their 100th anniversary be a princess story. You know, the characters were all engaging. I quite like them. Alan Tudyk as Valentino was really funny. As the comedic relief, he really lands. And I do like Asha's friends. They each have their own distinct personalities and charms and overall, I could really get behind the story, a story behind choosing to pursue your own path and making your own wishes come true. Really working for your wishes, and that's something a lot of people don't get. Like this film isn't saying, oh, you shouldn't work hard for your wishes, like some people have been saying. No, it absolutely is saying that. Like you can't give your wish to someone else and hope they fulfill it for you. You have to really go get out there and there and make it come true. Come true yourself. The flaw with Magnifico was that he was entrusted with all these wishes, and he chose to hoard them. And I don't even believe he was trying to protect them. And he hoarded them, and only decided based on his convenience which wishes could be fulfilled. And the way he decided them was is very arbitrary. Right? So that immediately sets him apart from a person like Asha, who wishes for people people to follow their own dreams and to pursue their own paths. So that's the immediate difference. Just wanted to clear that up. It's in my opinion that Wish is a pretty good movie. Is it a masterpiece? No, but I mean there are certain things about the story that can be improved and stuff. Certain things I would have done differently. I do think King Magnifico was defeated a bit too easy. Or if we were gonna go for that climax, maybe make it more explosive, dramatic. I mean the scene was already dramatic, but I don't know, make the magic, I don't know, pop more, make the defeat slower, so we actually see the process and make it more heartfelt. So there were definitely some things I would have improved, but I think that this film deserves a chance. If you see it and it's not for you, that's fine. But for me, I actually really like this. I'm glad I came out to see it because holy cow, it impressed it impressed me. It definitely feels like a Disney Renaissance classics and classics of old. Like I'm watching some of those classic some of those classic films at some point. You have all the right ingredients. And I think that if Disney didn't make so much ridiculous decisions just in recent months and tick off their consumer base, then people would be much nicer on this film. I think public opinion mainly seems to boil down to people are fed up with Disney, and so they apply their hatred onto this film. That's what it seems to come down mainly towards. Because even films that were much more worse received than Wish still did better at the box office. But I think people are beginning to tire of the Disney brand, in which it's partially their own fault, but I also don't think this film should be the fallback, the scapegoat for that sort of Disney anger, because you can tell that the creators really cared about making the best product possible while watching this, and I hope that it bounces back like Elemental. Right now, it seems to be doing slightly better. I don't know what exactly my review is gonna do, but probably nothing. But I just want to get my opinion out there, and if you are intrigued, I hope I didn't reveal too much. And if you're someone who hasn't seen the film, I want you to judge for yourself. You might agree with the majority, you might not, but ultimately I want you guys to decide for yourself. I might do a spoiler discussion later on, or if you guys want it, I might do individual videos talking about the film, since that seems to be the hot topic right now. Talking about stuff from Wish, like Asha or Magnifico, all that. So if you guys want a spoiler discussion where I discuss everything in depth, I might do that, since I really like this film. But it really depends on how much time I actually have, since I have a whole other channel to tend to. So yeah, I just wanted to come back, reveal my thoughts and on on the film, and maybe entice you to actually see it for yourself. So if you so ultimately, I'd recommend this film to anyone who's looking for, you know, the Disney classics of old. If you want to see Disney go back to the roots and really deliver that sweet fairy tale story with a plucky protagonist and an evil villain. An evil villain and like magical creatures, all that, and a story about saving wishes and helping people, then this film's for you. You know, I definitely related to it a lot, and I want to hear what you think. So with that being said, sorry this was a bit disorganized. You know, these videos, unlike the other channel, these videos aren't really scripted. So I'm just giving my honest thoughts based off of what immediately came to mind, while keeping some details hidden. And this, like what I talked about, you guys maybe already know already, because film's been out for a while. But the last thing I want to do is spoil this film, especially when I think that it shouldn't be spoiled, and you guys should actually see it. Who knows? It's still in theaters, so if you guys are interested, you might. Showtime's are still there. Just the new ones, only the new ones and onwards are there. The morning ones are all tapped out. So, just a heads up. Be sure to like and subscribe to be updated on future content, and I will see you all next time.